Australia's Della Maddalena has the opportunity this weekend to become the third Australian UFC champion, but he's got his work cut out for him in the current champion, Belal Muhammad. Robert Whittaker, your thoughts on the champ?
Mate, Belal is looking incredible at the moment. I feel like there's a certain type of character that gets better once they've got the title, and I feel like he's one of them. You know, I think his skill set has always been consistent, okay? But I don't know what it is. In the last few fights, he's really started filling the shoes. And the pressure, the confidence he moves in, the way he's willing to strike as well as mix in his wrestling, it just creates such a tiring game for people, you know? But I think he can also play into Jack's favour. So Belal really likes making things a dogfight. He likes getting in there, crowding you, using his hands to set up shots, to set up his hands to set up shots, right? But I think if Jack just plays patiently, controls that mid-range, uses his jab the way he does, make him uncomfortable with stinging him every time he moves forward or backwards. If he gets taken down, just get back up. We saw in that Burns fight, he's resilient. He can just get back up. He can do that over and over again. And if he's being patient and he's always looking for those kill shots the way he does, because in that third round with Burns, right? Yeah. It would have been so easy after he got up in that final transition to just make some space, take a deep breath, collect his bearings, reset, and go back in. There was a minute and a half left in the round still, okay? But instead, he moved forward into that knee straight away. More so than the knee is the head space that takes, the mentality that takes for him to be able to do that. And 25 minutes now with Belal, I don't know what it is. I can feel it in my waters, mate. I can see him finishing Belal.
Zach, your thoughts on the champ?
Yeah, similar to Rob, mate. I think he's a fighter that obviously has a real disciplined approach to his game plan, and it's very particular, and I think he fights very similar on a number of occasions now. It's you know, he's obviously a pressure fighter, and his takedown defence is obviously unbelievable, and he just showed in his performance, in his last performance, especially against Leon Edwards. It was just the way that he took him down so many times and just continuously. He was just relentless about it and never went away from his game plan. It was just so consistent, and he was just dialed into the process of the fight, and that's what I admire about him. But as Rob was saying there, I think it can definitely work in Jack's advantage, in the sense that he can be patient, he can get behind his jab. You know, he can box, he can like, he's going to be bringing him onto his punches as well, and mate, it's set itself up for, you know, stylistically for both fighters. It's setting itself up for a real good fight.
How do you think Belal does against someone though who moves forward? Because Leon, to me, like, if he's getting pushed and bullied, he doesn't.
He showed no urgency.
He never
getting
comes
away
back
from that cage.
Like, he doesn't come back. You know what I mean? He gets bullied quite easily.
So true.
Easily, like, he gets bullied quite easily. But like, what do you think Belal looks like when he's getting countered, when he's getting pushed back on it? Like, he's the one moving backwards. Hard to shoot when you're going backwards.
So true. And for me, he probably hasn't had been on the back foot too often. You know, he's always been the one that's dictated the style of the fight, the way that the fight's gone, and that's Jack's best advantage. Is, you know, he can do that. He can do it on the back foot. He can do it on the front foot. He's a pressure fighter as well. So it's in my opinion, hey, look, it hasn't showed that Belal's gone the distance. Belal hasn't shown that he's been stopped too many times, and it's always gone the distance. In my opinion, it's going to show someone's going to get stopped, I feel.
You know what I am curious about is how much of leg attacks we'll see from Belal. Because that body kick Burns was utilising against Jack, I think Jack's quite susceptible to kicking, because he likes controlling that mid-space. Doesn't kick a lot, but he likes punching, okay? You shut that down with some strong body kicks, start chopping legs, start chopping, you know, the arms. We saw that he took an injury in his last one. I can see, and when Belal fought Leon, he utilised that body kick really well. Really well.
As we take a look at our Musashi knockout moment, Rob, Belal's striking, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's an aspect of his game that is slightly underrated?
I definitely think his striking is made better by the fact that he mixes everything up so well.
Yeah.
Okay, his takedown and threat of takedowns and threat of the pressure, his cardio, it all lends itself to making his striking better than I think it is technically if you were just standing with him. You know, but you're not. This is MMA. This is what we do. So, and honestly, Drickus has made me question everything about striking MMA to date, right? Like,
why is that?
He really, because it doesn't.
When you look at people like them, part of their defence is almost the output of their attack and the way the amount of punches that they're throwing. It's almost part of their defence.
100%.
Because they're walking forward almost all the time, and I guess you look from a boxer's point of view in regards to watching someone like Tim Tszyu, his output in regards to his attack. It's almost part of his defence because it's just the pressure that they possess. And
but also, like, if you're landing shots, does it really matter what it looks like?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Dude? It was like Belal's angles on his strikes when he fought Leon. Like, Leon's a sniper. He's got really crisp striking, okay? Belal's angles on his striking, his movements, they were crazy. You know, they were quite wild. Like, leading with hooks, leading with uppercuts. It's like you don't see it a lot unless you have absolute control of the game and control of the space and scenario you're in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We saw you and Israel talk about Drickus' striking, and we saw a pretty good impression of Israel imitating him. Can you give us a demonstration of Drickus' striking right now?
I couldn't if I tried, mate. I'm not nearly drunk enough. But honestly, I'm talking like he didn't punch me in the head 100 times and finish me. Like, it's effective. He's got effective striking. Like I said, if you're landing strikes, does it really matter what it looks like?
Absolutely.